Hello YouTube family, it's Shakia again, and today's video is inspired by a conversation that I had with my aunt, and it's also inspired just by how I've been feeling lately, so here we go. So was last week Father's Day? I'm not sure, but I want to do this video in hopes that it helps someone, who may be going through it, or it helps someone who has experienced it. So Father's Day was a week ago, I believe, and I just felt really down on Father's Day. Like I was sad. I'll admit I was sad, and I think my sadness is coming from the fact that I'm getting ready to move. I currently live in Mississippi, and I will be moving to Georgia soon, and so the home that I am currently living in is my parents' home, and I think we've been here for 12 years. So this home has a lot of memories, and to leave this home, I guess it just brings back some memories that are kind of sad for me. So about 3 years ago, my stepdad passed away. Now, let me start off by telling you that he had cancer. He had colon cancer. I'm not sure which stage it was in. I believe it was in stage 3 when they found it, or maybe it was even stage 4. But he received chemotherapy, and he went to his doctor's appointments, and he also had surgery. Starting off, he had surgery. So they removed some of the cancer from his colon, and then eventually he had to do rounds of chemotherapy. So during this time, I was a junior in college, and I just remember just being overwhelmed by the fact that my stepdad had cancer, and we all know cancer can be a scary thing. So I was thinking of, well, do I need to stop school? Do I need to come home and just help out or whatever? Well, my family pushed me to keep going, so I kept going. But there were days when if I could get any weekend to come home, I would be home to help out, to spend time with him, and I just made sure I was there because I didn't know what was coming. I didn't know how severe it was. I just was informed when it first happened that he had stage 4 cancer. And I was there for him that day, or there were a few days he had to stay in the hospital after his surgery, and it really hurt me to see him in so much pain and the amount of pain that he was in. And so my junior year went by. I get to my senior year. This time of my senior year, I had an apartment. I was living about 45 minutes away from home because my school was 45 minutes away from home. So I had a chance to go home regularly, and I got a chance to spend time with my family regularly. Well, a few months into my senior year, the doctors told him that the chemotherapy was no longer working for him. So what they did was they tried to find ways to help him, or to help the cancer decrease. So they found a pill form, and I remember so vividly on my 22nd birthday, I didn't really want to do anything. I didn't really want to have a birthday party or anything. I just wanted to make sure that everything was going to be okay. And that was the day that he was supposed to go to the doctor, and they were going to tell him, okay, well, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to move forward. So he went to the doctor, and they told him that they had a pill form that would help him. And this pill form, he would have to take it, I believe he took it daily. And so he took that for a couple of months, and, life went on. And then I came to a stumbling block in my life where I had to sit out a semester. I think there's a video on my channel where you can see about how I debated whether I was going to just quit school or whatever. But I had to sit out a semester. And during that time, looking back on it, I'm thankful that I had to sit out a semester because I took trips with my family. Even though I was working and I was trying to pay for my living expenses, I really took that time to just spend time with family, to spend time with my stepdad. There were days when I would come home and I would take him to his cancer treatments. I made sure that, he was eating, because at that time I was learning to cook. Not good, but he didn't say anything. But at that time, I was learning to cook because he was teaching me the ways of how to cook, because I had an apartment then. And being that I had an apartment, I no longer had a meal plan. And so I had to learn how to cook some things on my own. So I would come home, help out by driving him places. I would take him to chemotherapy and all that good stuff. Well, I finally moved home. I finally moved back home, into this home. I want to say I moved home when my lease was up. My lease, I was substituting then, so I moved home a little bit earlier than my lease was up. I moved home in May of 2016. But I still went back and forth to my apartment to get things and to just slowly move out. Well, during the summer of 2016, I was still at home, and so that's when I started to see a decline in things. I started to see his health start to decline. It was said that the pills that he was taking was no longer helping for the cancer, and so it was just a matter of just, I guess, waiting on something else, figuring things out. So what scared me one day was I came home from my friend's wedding and we took him to the emergency room. He was in just so much pain. And so that really scared me, and it just made me very cautious of what was going on and how things were going. And, we still had to go to the doctor's office. So during this time, it's the summer. I'm already back home. I'm taking him back and forth to his doctor's appointments and basically just using that time to spend time with him. Now, during this time, he wasn't down sick, but he was able to, still cook things and still go places, but he just needed more, I guess, care. Flash forward to July 2016. July 2016 is when I sat in the doctor's office with him one day, and the doctor basically just told us flat out that there was nothing else they could do, that he needed to sign up for hospice, and he was going to die. It was stated just like that. And for me, I guess it was hard for me to just hear that, but I'm pretty sure doctors have to tell people that all the time. But just hearing that, it was like, man, like, there's nothing else you can do. And so, he took it like a pro. I didn't cry in front of him. I kind of just digested everything that was going on. And later on in July, one morning I woke up. He told me that a lady was coming by. The lady was from hospice. He signed up for hospice. This lady came in and sat at the table with us, and she talked about, how to make their patients comfortable, what the patient would like. And now that I look back on that, it's I don't know. It's just like, how did you go through that? But I really believe that God kept me through all of this, and I'm saying this because I want to help someone out. If you're going through this, it's hard. It's hard. You just have to really just talk to family. You have to talk to friends. You have to, whatever you're feeling, don't hold it in. Do not hold it in, because you're not alone. You're not alone. But back to the story where we were at the table, and, the hospice nurse was talking to us, and she was sharing her experience about her father and what happened with him, and that was comforting. But to hear her ask about the resuscitation, she asked, "Would you like to be resuscitated?" And she talked about, like, bones could be broken, because at this time he was really skinny. He was skinny. You could see that he had lost a lot of weight and things, and so he said no. He said no. And at that moment, I knew I had to honor his wishes if and when that time came. So now people are coming in and out the house during the week, making sure they're taking care of him, making sure they are just giving him the best last few days, months, whatever possible. And this is July. Well, 2 weeks later, my cousin passed away. And that, to me, I feel like, to me, I'm still in shock at times, because when I found that out, it was like, dang, we just had to go through this. Now we're going through the loss of my cousin, and she was only 25. And then in the midst of all that, I'm getting ready to start school, because I took a semester off, and now I'm getting ready to go back into my last part of my senior year and finish it up. Okay, this is July. School starts in August. So you can imagine how my little brain is going. And on top of that, I'm trying to move out of my apartment that I haven't fully moved out of. So he's declining, going, we bury my cousin, and I start school in August. Okay. So I started school in August, and he stayed at home by himself, but I want to say mid-August is when my mom took off. She took care of him, helped out, helped him. So this is a big decline we're starting to see. Losing weight, not really eating, energy going away, just lots of big changes at one time. So in the midst of all of it, I'm still trying to go to school. I'm still trying to finish school because I graduated in December of 2016, and I'm just trying to wrap my brain around all of this that is going on. It's like it just happened so quickly. But I kept going. I persevered. It was hard. It was hard to stay focused, student teaching, but I did it. I did it. It wasn't easy. I'm telling you, there were days when I would go in the bathroom stall and I would pray because I knew that I just needed strength to get through it. I knew that things were getting hard. I knew that it could possibly be the end for him soon. So that's August. September, family members are coming in to help out, to help us, to help him. And so there was a time where he was hallucinating because he was just on so much pain medicine where he started to hallucinate and things. That's when I knew that things weren't good. And I don't know, it's just like a decline. The decline was really scary, and to watch it unfold right in front of you in your own house that you all have built together for X amount of years is just, it was an experience for me. And so I want to say mid-September is when, okay, so let me stop because I'm starting around. Okay, so the day that he passed away was the day that I remember so vividly because it took me back to that conversation that we had with the hospice nurse. And I went in the room after I got home from student teaching, and he was just jerking. He was just jerking in the bed. He wasn't responding. He wasn't talking at this point. But I knew that he could feel my presence, so I started humming, and I was just humming as a way to comfort me and to comfort him, to let him know that I was there. And so later on that night, there were some issues with his breathing. I don't really know because at this point I was kind of scared. My mom said, call 911. And then instantly I'm like, no. We had a conversation with the nurse. He said, do not resuscitate him. And so I said, the only thing you can do is call the hospice nurse. So I called the hospice nurse and I told her that, he was having trouble breathing and that she needed to come, or could she come and check him out? She finally came, and at this point I just knew. I knew that it was done. And so I stayed outside, and she said, he's gone. And so, I'm still in my senior year of school. I'm still working towards graduation. And here it is a couple months prior to graduation, and I just lost not one, but two people. And it was just a hard experience. It was hard. So, to see them take him out of this house and put them in my hearse and all that. Those memories, they kind of stick in my head, and they still remind me of what happened. And sometimes it hurt, some days are better than others, but for the most part, I've done really well. I know there's days when I would pass by his job and I would tear up because that was the place where he worked. That was how he provided for his family. And life to me is crazy, and life to me is short. And so that's why I try to cherish every moment, and I try to cherish everybody that comes into my life, because you just don't know. Like, the events that happen with him, it just happens so quickly. But I say all that to say this. Death can be hard. I say all that to say death can be hard and you can be strong. Because here I was at the age of 24, and I lost my cousin who was 25, and I lost my stepdad, a man who had been in my life since he would tell you that he was in my life since I was in diapers. He met my mom when I was in the car seat, like just a constant in my life. And even though we had our issues and we had our differences, at the end of the day, I know he loved me. He considered me as a daughter, and you love those people, and you want them to stick around, and you want them to see everything. Like, I wanted him to see me graduate from college. That was a huge step in my life, but he wasn't there. I know he was there in spirit. I know that if he was to see me now, if he were to see me now, he would be so proud of me. He would say, I knew you can do it. And you just got to find strength in yourself to just press forward. You got to work hard and say that I know that they're looking down on me and they are proud of me. You have to be able to say, I'm moving forward each and every day. Now, I'm not going to tell you that each and every day is going to just be a great day for you. There are going to be times when you miss those people. There are going to be times when you feel hurt. But put your trust in God, or whatever it may be. I put my trust in God, and I know that God is going to carry me. I know that God is going to keep me through all of this. He has kept me this far. We, as a family, we went through struggles after that. But God kept us, and He's still keeping us. And, I just think that everyone has their time, and it was just His time to go. And in that time that I was out for school, I was able to spend time with Him. I was able to just get the time that I probably wouldn't have had if I was like in school still. I don't know. Like, I just felt like during that time I was able to spend a lot of time with him. I feel like we were able to bond and just spend our final times together. And so just cherish one another. Cherish your family, cherish your friends. And if you have lost a loved one, keep pressing forward. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. You can't get down, because they won't want you to be down. He wouldn't want me to be sad. He would be so proud to know that not only did I finish my undergrad degree, but that I'm working on my master's. Like, through all of that, I still found strength to pick it up and keep it going. And I'm getting ready to move. So I have to use those challenges, those struggles that come in my life as a way to build me up. That was a mountain. I could have said, oh man, my stepdad passed away and I'm not going to graduate. I could have said that. But I know that's not what he would have wanted me to do. And I know that wouldn't have benefited me. How would that have helped me? I had come so far. I would have lost everything. I wouldn't be a teacher. I wouldn't be able to help the young kids. Like, I wouldn't be able to walk in my purpose. So keep going. Keep pressing. If you have to cry, cry. That's just a healing method, I feel. Crying for me is therapeutic. It helps me to get out what I'm feeling. I don't feel bad for crying. I told you on Father's Day, I felt sad. I I was sad, and I needed that. I needed to be reminded, like, yes, I have some hurt, and I needed to know that I could cry. And when I cried, I reminded myself that he's in a better place. I reminded myself that it's okay, that one day we'll be able to see each other again, and one day, I don't know. But that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I hope this video helps you in some type of way. Just be inspired. Don't give up. And check out my last few videos. Thank you and bye-bye.